Mic check. I hate to do that rapper thing, but episode 14 of the Watch Talk Radio podcast. Usually,
Yeah,
when I come in here, we just start talking ASAP.
but
Uh,
yeah, we well, first and foremost, it is September 11th, so just once again, rest in peace to everybody who lost their life due to terrorist attacks on that day. Particularly shout out if you know anybody personally who lost a family member or friend or someone they knew, you know, check in on them, make sure they okay. Shout out to and much love and condolences to Selena Vega. She lost her father in 9/11, so shout out to that WWE superstar who was on the rise.
I didn't even know that until today.
Yeah, she was on Lillian Garcia's podcast talking about it.
That's great. I forgot Lillian got the podcast. I need to check that out.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
damn. It's gonna make this opening segment even harder because I forgot today was 9/11. So,
yeah.
shout out to them. God bless. All that love to them.
Shout out
Uh,
to the Blueprint. The Blueprint was also released this day.
Absolutely. 17
Uh,
years ago, one of the
yeah,
greatest albums in history, not rap albums, just albums in particular.
yeah. I'd make the argument that it is probably that, along with like To Pimp a Butterfly, are like the rap albums of the 21st century. Like,
I might take some time out to think about it, but I mean, it's Kendrick and it's Jay Z, so I'm not gonna be opposed to it.
yeah, those are like, those are the heights people are still trying to reach when it comes to like perfection on a rap album, when it comes to like lyrical ability, production value, um, just how. Okay, there is one filler track on the Blueprint.
Girls, girls, girls.
No, absolutely not. It's Jigga that nigga.
You know what? I'm going with girls, girls, girls. I understand what you mean though, because girls, girls, girls. If it would have waited what 2 more years, it would have definitely fit in more so with the Blueprint too. Because with the Blueprint too, this is like grown up Jay Z. Even though we saw in Blueprint one, it was just like a recollection of everything that was happening with the stab casing and all that. And then when we got to Blueprint two, it's like, okay, this is more fun Jay Z. Not saying we didn't have it before. We had it on Give It to Me and songs like that. But with this, he just felt like I still have something to prove, but I want to have fun with it. And
Well,
that's when he went out and eyes on the Blueprint too.
yeah, I see that. I think Girls fits on the Blueprint because Song Cry is there too, and it's
Right.
like my view of Song Cry is always like one of my favorite Jay Z songs because it's one of the first times a dude like on the record got his heart broken, but not just like got his heart broken, but admitted that he deserved it.
That's true.
Because that's
I remember the
basically
video to it as well.
yeah, that's basically the song of like the concept of the song is like he's telling his story of how, they were in love and how he messed it up. So uh Song Cry is a really clairvoyant song for Jay because he nearly did that in real life. Um
And then this is the whole rumor thing about him and Emil.
yeah,
Was that was the time, right?
that's about the time. Uh
Oh,
but it also has like the Blueprint is also home to potentially the two best Jay-Z songs ever released, which are You Don't Know and Heart of the City.
you said the two best Jay Z songs ever released,
Yes,
or arguably? Nah, we can't do
arguably.
that.
Yeah, I can't definitively say those are the best, but I mean, dude, find something that still hits and resonates the way You Don't Know resonates or Heart of the City resonates. Like that album was like the clear definition of Jay-Z's genius because except for, Jigga That Nigga, every song on that album for the most part holds up.
Man, this is okay. So, like I always say, every time we have these talks, which is every week, which don't matter, because I always got time to talk about Jay-Z music, and overall the overall mystique of him, and we hear these stories and shit like that. I think with me and Jay-Z songs, he's always ended albums or had songs that were close to closing out his album that meant more to me personally in my life. Case in point, Allure and Nickels and Dimes. Those songs right there, especially Allure, I still get the same feeling as when it first came out, which is 2003. It came out the same day as Beg for Mercy because I believe I bought both albums that day. So You Don't Know is definitely up there, and I get what the point is, but I feel like when we have these songs where it's just like this is who he is, he always has these songs like Nickels and Dimes and stuff like that where he's telling us who he is, and we heard it the last album, but somehow he keeps doing it over and over. But when we got 444, we had every song seemed like it was that.
That's true. That's true. It's also Blueprint also holds a special indicator because it that along with 444 are the only two J albums that don't have Neptune's production on it.
That's true. Because I think every album just about had it.
Yeah. The Dynasty had it. Blueprint 2 definitely had it. Black Album had a few.
Right.
Yeah. Kingdom Come, American Gangster, Blueprint 3. And the interesting thing is usually if it's not just Blaze, the Neptunes usually have the best song.
Absolutely.
Like for you on the Black Album, Allure is the best Jay-Z song. The best song on that album, I'm guessing.
Probably my favorite Jay-Z song ever.
See? On the Blueprint 3, Tell Me So Ambitious isn't probably the best song on that album.
I will go with Already Home for my personal pick. Just my personal pick.
I can see that.
All them No ID Kanye beats on there was fire. Thank you. But definitely that Already Home beat is just insane just because it showed once again who we'll be talking about later, but not in a positive way, can flip any type of sample. Not like a Ninth Wonder. And I think we talked about that 2 episodes ago where I said Ninth Wonder is overall a better producer than Kanye. But overall, Kanye has a niche for finding just samples nobody ever heard of or songs nobody had ever heard of and made it new.
Yeah, I can get with that. And the thing is, when Kanye wants to make a really, really good record, he'll make it. Like he did on what the hell is the Pusha T out? Daytona.
Right, he forgot about it. That's still probably my album of the year right now. It's either that or Astro or the Black Panther soundtrack, Astro World, is somewhere in between those two.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
It's gonna be different. This year it's gonna be harder than any year before for me personally. Well, 2015 was a tough one too, where I had to figure out all these goddamn albums and where I'm gonna place them at.
Yeah, I don't. Anyways, I don't get too I don't trip out too much over placement anymore. If anyone else trips out over placement, all that tells me is you're mad I didn't like it as much as you liked it.
Right.
Like if I put it on there, I liked it. Like if I didn't put it on there, then I either didn't like it or I just thought it was okay.
Exactly. Yeah, the placement thing is kind of getting a little too much, especially when literally every album, every week, somebody's saying, "Oh, I got a new album dropping." God damn, you gave us a 2-day notice.
Yeah, like But that's fine.
And it's over
I'll make it work.
for Lottie. Go ahead.
Uh, that's
Oh, we
fine.
gotta remember
But
too.
we're off.
Besides that, we
So
gotta shout out Fabulous album.
Fabulous had an album.
His debut. No, his
Oh, that's
debut came
right.
out today too as well.
That's right.
Ghetto Fab.
Ghetto Fabulous was
Holler
today
back,
too.
young.
Hey,
And that movie was, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Well,
hey.
everybody, all those rappers around that time was moving,
But the thing about Fab was we knew Fab was a cut above other rappers. Like, it was really hard to be within the song structure and be lyrical for a lot of rappers. Fabulous pulled it off effortlessly.
with the punchlines.
Yeah, like at the time it was him and Ludacris that was able to do that.
Right. Oh yeah, that didn't come out today. When did Southern Hospitality come out? That was 2001 though.
That was 2001. That was like the very end. No, it was the beginning. No, it was 2000. It was 2000.
I thought that was Back for the First Time. Okay, yeah, Back for the First Time was 2000.
Back for the First Time was 2000. Word of Mouth was this year.
I swear, let's look. I gotta look it up, but I swear, Back for the First Time was 2001. Word of Mouth was 2002.
Word of Mouth was 2002. Chicken and Beer is 2003. You're right. You're right.
Wait, did he really put out albums back to back to back? Let me look this up because I'm very curious now.
Yeah.
I mean, he was. That's when Def Jam was towards its end. Like, period. Because now we see Def Jam has like two artists on there. Two good, one great artist, another good artist, but still, they got them on there. And then Janae Aiko and Big Sean are somewhere in between. But the other two artists are the great one being Vince Staples and the okay one is being Logic. But that was like towards the end of Def Jam when it was like, let's just put out Def Jam South and let's let Scarface handle it.
Well, the thing
let's put out all these other companies.
The interesting thing was, like, when they talked to Scarface, I remember Scarface said he had to fight for Ludacris, and he was fighting to get Mike Jones, Slim Thug, and Paul Wall and Chamillionaire all on there, and they didn't want him.
That would have been insane.
I think they chose Rick Ross over all of them.
Not a bad choice, but financially at that time, it would have been very great for the company.
Yeah, man, like Paul Wall, the people.
Not a bad choice. And Rick Ross just barely got out that deal a year ago. He had to put out an album every year just to get out the deal. I think he signed a LaFace now. Is it LaFace still? I don't even know if LaFace is still around. That's crazy.
I don't know. It might just be his own thing now. But
so yeah, you're right. So Back for the First Time was 2000. 2001 was Word of Mouth. I thought it was 2002. That's crazy.
And then he took a year off.
2003.
Yeah.
And happy birthday, Ludacris. That's one positive thing that came out 9/11. Well, three positive things. One very bad thing came out. His birthday is today.
Oh, well, look at that. He still fits in there. Shouted out Fab, shouted out Ludacris and Jay. And it's amazing. Those are probably three of the most versatile rappers in the history of rap.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I can't think of anybody who might be more versatile than those three. The only person in the modern era that has that level of versatility is Wale. Like, Wale sounds at home on just about anything.
Right, especially, well, them poetic songs at times.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, it's Def Poetry Jam for real.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, he's not always as good as I would like him to be, or I don't think he's as good as I would always like him to be. But I can't deny that the man is versatile and like, you get like, there's almost like, name a song on the radio that has a rapper on it, and just imagine a good Wale verse on it, and it doesn't mess up the song.
That's true. I still love that's one of my favorite Jordan Cry songs ever is with Usher.
Oh,
and I forgot the title. Plans for You, or whatever it's called. The one I was on album about nothing.
Proposal or whatever it's called.
I think that's what it's called. I always forget his titles. Like I usually remember titles of songs. I always forget his titles.
I got you.
They
Anyways,
they very
uh,
dismissal. But
moving on, uh, to the memories of yesteryear, to the memories of present. I want to send a big rest in peace to Mac Miller. Uh,
absolutely.
Mac Miller, you know, it's kind of wild to realize he was only 26 because he had been around for a while. Like,
Yep.
you got to remember when Double XL did the freshman cover, he was in that year when it was him, Big Crit, Meek Mill, YG, Kendrick, Lil B. Uh, who else
Wasn't
was in?
Roscoe Dash on that one? Oh, the Roscoe Dash was on like the year after, something like that.
Uh, who else? I think Diggy was in there and Yellow Wolf or something like that, and Sci
That's
High.
correct. Yeah, because I just looked at this like last week too, or 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah, like it's debatably like that, and the year before, debatably the best freshman classes because the year before was Cole, Wiz, J Rock, Big Sean, Nipsey, Freddie Gibbs. It was
oh,
strong.
it's crazy to say they veterans right now, still working, and they're veterans.
Yeah, yeah, they're nearly 10-year veterans now. Um, but that's what makes it so wild for Mac. Like, if y'all haven't heard, last Friday, Mac Miller was found dead in his home of an apparent drug overdose. Uh, yeah, man, that one hit a little hard. Like, it hit harder than I expected.
Yeah,
Um, but it was wild, man. And before we get too deep into it, anybody out there blaming Ariana Grande, shut up and stop. That was not her fault. Nothing she did was her fault and led to his death. Point blank.
man. You know what? This era where I don't even know what to call it, man. Motherfuckers just blame anybody that has no association or had some association with somebody before. If something comes with it, like as tragic as death, then they look for a problem instead of a solution. Motherfuckers be quick to just say, and I mean, it's little young people on they phone or whatever you want to call them, trolls on their phone, whatever the fuck you want to call them, that just saying this stuff. But it's very unfortunate when something like this happens. Everybody wants to point the finger, and it's just like, just let that man rest. You know what I mean? Like, we all fucked up because of it. Like, we don't know him personally, but goddamn, like the music, we was just praising him. Like, I've been listening to him since I think 2008, 2010 or so with the kids mixtape, whenever that came out. And shouts out to Dat Pitt for putting me on to that
Yeah,
and
that's
numerous other mixtapes.
that's how I found out about it because I was downloading other mixtapes, and at the bottom, every time in the recommendations, his kept coming up. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, let me see what this is about. And I listened to kids, and I was like, this isn't bad. This is pretty good. Because I think we were all coming down off of our disappointment from what Asher Roth was. Like, you heard Asher Roth, you was like, yo, Asher Roth can rap. And then you realize Asher Roth didn't really have much to say.
And this goes back to what I said before. A lot of these, and it's a Twitter meme. It, a lot of these white rappers beat on that rickety rap shit.
And that's
This is the
nothing.
whole thing I have about Eminem.
And that's the thing is the difference between Eminem and Eminem is that Eminem actually had like something to say. But I mean,
Yeah,
that was the cool thing about Mac Miller is that it seemed like, I mean, he was young and he was talking about young people shit, but he like actually thought about like, oh, okay, I'm gonna talk about this. Um, and Hey man, that was a dude that was like how you. We always talk about like, oh, rappers get better or they're growing. Like you could see the growth on just about every album. Like, um, when you go from Blue Slide Park to watching movies, it's a completely different feeling. It's really good. It's a good feeling, but you're like, oh, there's like more intent here. And then you finally get to swimming, and you're like, oh man, he was just entering like because I told my younger brother this. I feel like Mac Miller as a lyricist had hit his peak a few albums ago. Like that's
Absolutely.
like he was as good of a lyricist as he was going to be a few years ago. Not saying, and that's not bad, but
No.
like it wasn't gonna get much better than what it was at that point. But the thing that was really cool was to hit that peak level of artistry. Like thing you got to remember is he was only 26. Kendrick makes Good Kid, Mad City when he's 25. Cole makes Friday Night Lights when he's about what 26, 27.
Yeah, because that was
Uh,
2010, I believe. So.
yeah. Uh, Tyler the Creator just made Flower Boy and he's about 26, 25 now.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
another artist. It's just like, bro, like we seen the growth drastically, and he's been around for since 2008, 2009. He was definitely one of those internet kids. It's just he hit it so fast, like he blew up quick.
yeah. And that's the thing was like he just started to enter like the like his artistic like probably peak or at least like he knew what to do with himself. Like same thing with Drake. Drake made Nothing Was the Same around the time he was about 25, 26. That's when Drake started making like hit after hit after hit after hit. Like if you notice, after Nothing Was the Same, every album after that housed the biggest Drake song of his career. Like Hold On We're Going Home is on Nothing Was the Same. He makes 0 to 100. He does what the fuck is that one called? The Running Through the Six song.
The Run to the Six song. I can't. I know what album it was on. It was on. If you're
If you're
reading
reading,
this, it's too late.
yeah. And then, Energy and all that. Those songs. Then the very next album is Hotline Bling. Now the very next album he does Passion Fruit and all that. And then right after that, he puts out God's Plan, Nights for What, and In My Feelings, all on the same album. Like, and it all starts around that same age for rappers. So I'm pretty sure everybody heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They trying to disrupt the flow. We got it though.
Yeah.
I ain't really have no joke there. It was just like
Yeah.
maybe that was God's plan for the ambulance to pass by.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know.
God's Plan and then someone's dying. But I don't know. You take what you will from that.
Right. We don't want to go too Marilyn
Yeah.
Manson with it.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Mac was just entering that point, and I'm not saying he was gonna make albums as good as Kendrick or hits as big as Drake, but I really think he was on to going to start making his best material, because, hey, man, swimming is that.
It is. And you said it last week. Like I said, I still haven't listened to his music since then. And I mean, I've been listening to it for years. Like I said, since kids. So it's nothing to go back and listen to that stuff. It's all on the phone. No matter what phone I got, it's with me. But I still haven't went back and listened to it. And now looking at the track listing and thinking about the songs, like I really been wanting to play What's the Use, like badly. And I've been since when I heard the news, that's the first song that popped in my head out of all these damn near flawless albums or very good albums he's had. Time Flies and What's the Use are the two songs I thought about listening to. I still haven't listened to it. Eventually I'll get into it, but when I look at the track listing now and you said it, it's just like, damn, it's kind of harder to think about the album now compared to
Yeah.
what we thought. Because when the album came out, we kind of knew it was a breakup. And when you listen to the album, it's like, maybe this is how people felt when they listened to Nevermind by Nirvana. Like, I think somebody's dropping hints about something, but we so in awe with this music that we're just going to keep listening to it and it'll be fine. And
Well,
if I'm not mistaken, after Nevermind came out, did Kurt Cobain die like due to his own hand a year later or something like that?
yeah, that one was a different thing though. This one, I remember around the time the album was about to come out, he talked to Zane Lowe, and he was saying like the breakup. I'm not saying it doesn't influence this album; it definitely does.
Right,
But I think the biggest thing that influenced this album was when he, was involved in got that DUI from that hit and run.
right,
Because he said, like, I think he said in the interview, like, that was the first time he had ever saw that, like, being high or being that inebriated could end badly for him. Like, that was the thing. It was like, so that was the biggest thing that I think he was just trying to, like, find his way out of it. Because, if you had read an interview or listened to his music for the longest time, basically since he started, he's been talking about drugs and struggling with drugs.
right. Especially on
So,
Faces.
yeah, man.
On Faces, didn't it had a song Angel Dust? I believe that is Faces.
Yeah.
Because the album that was just put on Spotify, and I'm gonna shout out Spotify and shout ain't shouting out the other company because I'm switching over. But with he put it on all streaming services, and is that Faces the one that had Thoughts from a Balcony, which is a great mixtape, and I remember that came out as well. But
I think that is.
Faces, I believe. Let me make sure because one of those had Angel Dust on there. It also had a knife. The other one, okay, so it was Faces. Faces was 2014, and that had Angel Dust on it. It had the song with Vince Staple produced by Ninth Wonder, something to do with the rain. So, like you said, if if we want to go back 4 years, even he has songs about that. Like if you see the track list, looking at it now, Angel Dust is number 4. Number 7 is It Doesn't Matter. Number 8 is Therapy. So 10 through 12, 10 through 13, it tells you a lot of what's going on. So I don't want to jump to any conclusions. I don't know what the verities of the situation is, but it seems like this has been an off and on thing for 4 years now.
Yeah, man. It's how put this is why we, not to get too heavy into it, but well, we're already there. Uh, this is why they consider addiction a disease, because it's not something like there are people who are able to kick the habit and never desire it anymore, or at least if they do have those desires, they're able to like overpower them. And then there's other people where it's a struggle for their whole life. Like I'm reminded of Amy Winehouse. Before Amy Winehouse
Absolutely.
died of her drug overdose, she was getting clean. Like she was doing better. She was a lot more sober. She's a lot more clear headed, and she had a bad night.
Right. And took too much at one time, just like they said with Mac. He just said, because his brother said he wasn't depressed. Now, I'm never going to say he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's his brother. Before it was this music shit, before the world knew who he was, that's his older brother. So I'm not going to say, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He said it wasn't depression. He said it was simply too much at one time. Which, like you just said with Amy Winehouse, like she said, I ain't going to rehab. Then she said, fuck it. She didn't make a song, but she said, I'm going to try it out. And then she must have relapsed, took too much. Because I remember that day vividly. And just took too much at one time, which can happen. Like
Yeah,
anybody could take something of too much at one time because you're not pacing yourself. Hell, it happens every probably second, literally every second, every day of people fucking dying from alcohol poisoning, which is legal.
yeah. Like someone I work with who was sober, they was telling me the story the other day about because we got talking about healthcare for other reasons, but he was telling me because he's sober now, and he was saying like the day before he went to the AA meeting, like, you know, he had a bad episode and people was telling him he should get some help, and that's when they called the AA. In the morning of the AA thing, when he realized they were coming to get him later in the day, he's like, I had this epiphany that this might be the last day I drink. So he took he had like 2.5 liters of vodka left and he finished it. And he was drunk as hell, and they took him to the meeting. And he doesn't remember this. He was told this afterwards, but he said like once he got there, the dude who was running the meeting was like, you guys got two choices right now. You can either take this guy out and go get him a bottle of whatever he's drinking and let him go ahead, or you can take him to the hospital because he's dying right now. Like, he's like, I've seen this before. He's going to die if you don't take him to the hospital right now. And if he's fine with dying, go get him a bottle and let him die in peace. But so yeah, like, who knows what happened? I'm not saying that's what happened with Mac. We don't know the story because he was alone. But it, you know, it's just really unfortunate. And it's really sad. This is the fourth rapper this year under 30 to die. There was Little Peep, there was Fredo, there was X, and now Mac. And three of them were drug related.
Right, because Fredo was because of lean, right?
Yeah, his body just failed.
Yeah, as a lot of rappers have said that. They said with that lean shit, they just said, bro, it's basically heroin, which we kind of know because it sounds like symptoms of heroin that people that take it. And then a lot of them just said, like, bro, like I think, if I'm not mistaken, Schoolboy said before he stopped, he had an ulcer and some other shit happened, and as well as abs. So Fredo was actually trying to kick his lean addiction as well.
Yeah.
They talked about that as well, and he just had a kid, so it's unfortunate. And I think a lot of these young people, the stuff they take is what, because we don't know what caused this with Mac Miller. If we want to take a guess, more than likely it's going to be some type of opioid. It's going to be some type of pill. Like, I didn't even know what type of drug he's been taking for years. They talk about he had drug addiction. I'm like, okay, so what fucking drug is it? Because they're not saying it. It's not for me to know, but it's just like, it's definitely something from the pharmaceutical company.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the best thing. All right, so I'm trying to get all my thoughts together while I'm saying it. I'm not upset or anything like that. I'm just trying to get these points across. So I think a lot of them, because they taking this shit, a lot of them, like I said, are pharmaceutical drugs. It's a lot of people that where we from, they smoke crack. I know a bunch of functioning crackheads, and this one functioning, he's not an addict no more as of a couple of years ago. I think even a year ago, and he's 61 years old. And let me know if you're not familiar with him, Michael Kohler, that was in House Party 3.
Oh, Michael Kohler?
Yeah, that performed on Venice Boulevard for years.
Yeah.
He said, listen to his interview on Breakfast Club a month ago. He said, I think if I said he kicked this habit a year ago. He said he was a functioning crackhead. Jokes about it, no pun intended, but apparently he was still doing it for all these years and going to gigs, and he like people could tell. Nobody could tell. I said shit, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, man.
He's still actively working.
Some people are
some
people can handle it better.
Can function that way. Right, because we hear about with Samuel Jackson, he said when he was going through his stuff, a lot of people said they could tell, but a lot of people said they couldn't tell. They just said it just seems like he was just sweating a lot. And then that makes me think, all this shit that's made, these chemically made things that aren't supposed to help you, somehow people are maintaining that. But yet all these drugs that's supposed to help you, even though these kids are mixing it with other shit or it's supposed to help you with depression or anything like that, it's killing you faster.
It's also like the amount of what you do. Like, um, because I mean, the same thing happened this year with Avicii, the house music producer. Like, he wasn't 30 yet. I think he was 29,
Hmm.
but he was drinking so much that his like he had like kidney and liver problems. Like, do you know how
Yeah,
much you
it's alcohol poisoning.
yeah. Like he ended up taking his own life, unfortunately. Um, but it's just the abuse of
Are you
stuff, and
talking about
it's
the kid that was in that group?
no. He was a producer. I forget which. I think he did the Wake Me Up song, the one that helped Aloe Black blow up for a while.
Oh, I know who you talking about. Yeah, it's some other kid too, man. Like it's the same situation. Then it's going on now with a lot of these people are offing themselves too, and that's not the appropriate word to use, but
Yeah, man.
it's like, bruh,
Suicide
you
suicide is big right now. And I don't mean that in a way of like it's popular, but it's a big cause of death amongst people. And
because we could say where we grew up, particularly how I grew up. I just remember, like, bruh, like you used to. Your main thing was like, I want to get out the hood, which a lot of people they come from these areas and they definitely deal with some type of mental illness more than anybody. When you come from the hood, you like, I just want to make it home. I ain't trying to get shot or nothing like that. People now, like, fuck it. They just killing themselves or they taking drugs. And what I want
well,
to say, now go ahead and then I'll get to the next thing I was going to talk about.
I think the biggest thing is just that um, external problems, while still prevalent and still a problem, I think the thing now is that we're focusing also like, hey man, just because these things stop don't mean these problems stop. Like it was the same thing like when people thought, oh, I'll make a bunch of money and all these struggles will go away. That's uh that's not
That
solid
seems
math.
to not at all. And it seems like it's worse with the ones with money. Like before we heard all this, it used to be like when you hear like wealthy people, like they family members are drug addicts or they offing themselves, and it used to be like, well, damn, if I had that much money, I'd be cool. But now when we see people that we actually listen to or pay some type of attention to, they just like with whatever means they have or whatever money and fame they have, they just like, nah, fuck it. It ain't even worth it.
Uh to some degree. Um it's hard for me to speak on at times.
Yeah, no, a lot of this is, and that's why I'm kind of jumping all around because I'm not very vocal with this stuff, except for when it comes to talking to it with you about it because we have this podcast to do. Otherwise than that, I don't really talk about this stuff. But I definitely want to shout out the album. I'm still not huge on, but the fucking message was needed, and the time. I don't. It's gonna be a couple years before everybody understands how important this album was. Whether you think it's okay, cool, great, whatever the case may be, thank him for coming out with this album, and that's KOD. Because
Yeah,
KOD
no.
is talking about all this shit we talking about right now,
No,
and
for
he put
real.
that out in March, April.
For real. And if you know anything about my feelings towards that album, you know that's the part I really like.
Right,
Like the beginning, I don't really like that much because it just feels like anybody could have made those songs.
right.
And that was the thing about J. Cole that I really liked. I liked For Your Eyes Only because of
Hmm.
how particular and this and that was. I was like, I don't mind this. Um, but when he starts getting to more like his feelings and things that like the reasons why, that's when the album really took off for me. And yes, you're absolutely right. Even though I think the album is decent to good,
Hmm.
it's definitely timely like I said, we've had 3 rappers die from either drug overdoses or drug related uh reasons. We've had one, I talked about Avicii who took his own life unfortunately because of how bad his alcoholism left his body. We still got rappers out here, uh really openly struggling with drugs.
I'm on the
And
beans for real. I'm on the
yeah,
beans for real.
yeah.
Like,
And the problem is the songs are good, but and it's one thing, like, I can't tell a rapper to stop doing them, but I would like it if they did. Like, I don't think Kodak. I think Kodak is a talented rapper. I don't think Kodak would make worse songs if he was sober.
no, it'll either way. It can go either way with him
Yeah,
in particular. And then
because I
he
thought,
doesn't.
because like
No, go ahead.
the one that like whose music I think got better when they got sober was Gucci.
Oh, his whole glow up or the rebrand or whatever you want to call it is phenomenal. Shouts out to him. And then this is goes back to how ignorant people are. And these adults, they better than me because I'm not responding to shit nobody say. When we on, I'm not responding to a fucking thing. But shouts out to them for doing that. That takes a lot of courage or whatever you want to call it. But the fact that he said, I'm not a clone, lets you know how ignorant people are. If you are somehow, if you change as a dope male, particularly a black male, people think you are some type of clone or you sold out or whatever fucking tinfoil hat
Yeah,
idea that they have. Like, you can't just become an adult. Like, this man is 40 years old, if I'm not mistaken. He's been in and out of jail since he's been famous, and we've been knowing about it since 2005. Yes.
yeah,
But hey, man, some people actually go to jail and say, fuck it. It take a lot of times for certain people. Somebody personally, I won't put them out there, of course, but I know somebody that's very close to me, been in and out of jail multiple times. It took him 2 years ago, let's say, at his age, to say, fuck it, I'm done with it.
yeah.
It takes time for evolution. It takes time for somebody to turn. But motherfuckers think if you just decide I don't want to be this person no more, I'm gonna smile more. I can still make the type of music that y'all like, but it's not gonna be so crazy and I'm not gonna do this shit. I'm gonna get married, then you're a clone. Motherfuckers are dumb.
You're absolutely right. And on that note, from talking about people who have evolved, let's talk about 2 people who are being exactly who they have been the whole entire ass time. So in case y'all don't know, Nicki Minaj and Cardi B had a little situation Friday night too. And it involved, I don't even know how it started. There's like multiple reasons why I've heard, or at least 2. I've heard 2. The 2 reasons why I've heard these things have happened is one, Nicki Minaj says something about culture, Cardi B and Offset's child. The other one was apparently Nicki tried to step on her dress and like ruin her dress or something like that. Um, and it just sounds like uh, well, okay, you go first. What you think about that? Because it happened. Cardi B puts out the reason that she said that, oh, you talked about my daughter. Nicki comes back on Queen Radio saying like, I would never talk about your daughter. We had this incident and your publicist put this out and you're lying on me and this and that. You go first.
Best way I could say it is either these two distinctions: shade room versus tea room, and the old head going against the new head, or in this case, the old weave going against the new weave.
That's a
Best way I
fair.
can, because
That's a
it
fair.
we talked
But
about before we went on air. It's a 10-year gap. All right, first of all, let's get this out the way. It's 2 women from New York.
yeah,
Listen,
that was
I met
that was my
women from
first
New
thought.
York.
Well, that was my first thought when I saw them fighting. I was like, oh, New York hip hop is back. We got to drop some
Right.
flex bombs. Where Clue at? We got to
We
get
didn't
Kid.
get none of that. I'm
We
waiting
got
for the diss tracks to come out.
we got to get Kid Capri out here somewhere.
Nah, he's still the damn money's still coming in. He good.
Yeah, I was like, man, where Fifth at? I know Fifth wants some action in this.
Well, we know how he get down now. He on Instagram, caking all for Nicki Minaj. But I understand they from Queens, so that's what's gonna happen. Queens people do stick together. Nori has said it multiple times.
Yeah. But anyways,
that's the best way to say it. Or in this case, well, neither one of them like this woman. Nobody likes Wendy Williams, but let's say this: it's the Wendy Williams crowd versus. Well, damn, it ain't that old. Fuck it, I'm already in. It's Wendy Williams versus fucking syndicated radio.
okay.
Like it's just it's very girly like, but it's two women who are independently rich, independently famous. That's from New York. Like I'm not saying all women from New York have tempers. I met a lot of women from New York. They're very nice, but they do have fucking tempers. Not all of them,
Yeah.
but the ones I met are nice, but very temperate. They talk with that's just the way they talk. And we've heard how people say that New York people are mean or whatever the case may be. They never been mean with me, but I can understand why people would say that because they very like have that grit to them. In this case, it's just two women who have egos. I'll leave that joke alone, but have egos, and it wasn't a race thing. I just don't, you know what I mean? I don't want to sound sexist, but it's the whole competition thing that we hear. Let's just say this: a stereotype that people say about women having egos. So it's two women with platinum records. Nicki has more platinum records. I mean, she's just been out longer, so give Cardi some time. That's just rich, and I mean, it's just been the whole back and forth. The petty thing. I can't say chatty patty because it's two women. This is what we say they supposed to, which is a stereotype, but what dudes do, which I argue shouldn't be doing, talking back and forth. But it's a combination of happening. I just wish this shit was on pay-per-view. And fuck that. Let this be the undercard. All right, we got Triple G and Kaleno happening this Saturday. Can't wait to see that fight. This will be my undercard fight. Because where the fuck is the Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans footage?
Oh, you ain't gonna ever see that shit.
No, Diddy's. He probably said, "No, Playboy, ain't no phones."
Not just that. Old folks don't know how to record shit on phones.
They should
Like you gonna
learn that day.
like someone gonna try and zoom in and it's gonna switch on to themselves. Like like Mario Winans gonna be there, like trying to record the shit, and then halfway
You gonna see
through,
the back of his head saying, "I don't want to know."
yeah. And then we gonna see Loon in jail. I was about to say we're gonna see Loon.
Is he?
Yeah, I think Loon is in jail.
For what? I didn't know that.
I think
For
he
what?
was selling dope.
What the fuck? The royalty checks ain't coming in for I Need a Girl Part 2 and 1?
No. Anyways,
No.
No,
that's definitely the main card. If we had to put the Evolution pay-per-view, that's my main event. I don't give a fuck. Because I didn't know they had a problem. These are two women that's been in the industry for one over 27 years, the other one about 23 years. I didn't know they had a problem.
Well, here's this what we do. So with Charlotte and Becky Lynch, we put Cardi B and Becky Lynch together and Charlotte and Nicki Minaj together. And then we do Mary J. Blige and the Bella Twins versus Rousey, Natalya, and Faith Evans.
Damn. I don't like that comparison because I feel like that's an unnecessary match anyway, far as the Brie Bella Ronda Rousey thing. But I give you that.
But anyway,
and I let it fly. But wait, I didn't know they had a problem. My thing is, if anybody thought Faith Evans was gonna lose, she probably did, but she got some hands. I could tell.
Yeah, I mean, we heard stories about her
that look like they smoked Newports.
I mean, like, and as much as Biggie was cheating on her, Faith Evans didn't have a lot of practice beating up on bitch. But
you heard about her catching a flight, right? She caught a flight from New York to Boston, I believe, just to beat up somebody, and then she booked a round trip ticket just to beat up on some woman. And then
that's a different type of woman. That means she stay ready. Because how you stay mad for a whole flight? I don't care.
Right.
I don't care how short the flight is. Anyways, So let me go through this. So as far as like my view on the Cardi Nicki thing, it doesn't matter whether Cardi was telling the truth or not. Now, to be clear, I do not think Cardi was lying. I don't have any reason to believe Cardi was lying. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what who started it because the common denominator, Nicki is now the common denominator. Like she's had issues with Remy. There was that incident earlier this year where she like went after this girl for no reason or not a very good reason. Uh, she went after Travis Scott for selling more records than her. She
Right.
she went after Future for pulling out of the tour with her. Uh, she who else she go after? She went online again and started attacking. Uh, so like the thing is now all these skirmishes, she's the common denominator. So it doesn't like now all people gonna look at is like, damn, every time I look up, you in some shit.
And you seem to be starting it.
And I'm not talking about the Barbies. Like the Barbies they're that's a different that's her hive. So I'm not.
Yeah,
This is
that's a weak ass hive. It's a never mind. See, goddamn, I can't let these.
no,
I
no,
this
no,
is
no.
how I know I'm getting better as it. This is how I know I'm getting older because the jokes. I be wanting to let the jokes fly, but I'm like, goddamn.
It's one of those things. It's just like, man, every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen
In the goddamn
and
refrigerator,
refrigerator.
starting some beef.
That's that's how they feel about Nicki now. Every time I go in the shade room, you in the shade room. Every time I go to the T report,
Is she? Wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken, she's like number 2, number 3, some around there with like the most followers on Instagram. How the fuck do you have time with with all these mentions? I know it's like if you follow people, then you can only see what they see and all this shit. How are you finding this?
because she be at home and people will tag her, like her fans will tag her and stuff and be like, "Did you see this? Did you see that?"
How you
And
seeing it? You got over 35 million followers.
hey, man, all it takes is one. All it takes is
Just
one.
won't you? Well,
Because
instead of
that's
doing
not
all that, use that energy to make a better album.
because that's not the only like the lady that Nicki went after this year. That's not the only person who's critiqued Nicki on social media or Twitter or Instagram. It's not the only one. It can't be. It's impossible
God
for that.
damn. And I forgot about that. She just been all year. You just, bruh. If you would stay ready all star, then pull up. It's getting to this
Yeah,
point now. You gotta stop the promotion. If you trying to book a fight, call Al
yeah,
Heyman in this point. Call somebody.
yeah. Yeah, let's get Floyd on the phone and Floyd will sell the fight for you. But yo, man, that's really what it is right now. Like, so that's the problem with Nicki is that like every time it looks up again, like we could say maybe this one really a chance. Once again, I don't think Cardi is lying. I don't have no reason to believe Cardi is lying
No, not what we
because
just seen this year alone. This year alone, we seen
if
enough to
there's
be like, okay.
if there's anything about Cardi is if Cardi don't want to say something, she won't say it. But Cardi, she just she has no reason. I don't see any reason for her to lie at this moment. Like she's been like a lot of her career has been putting herself out there and being very honest and like forthcoming with what she thinks and what she says. So it would be very weird for all of a sudden this to be the moment, the pivot to like, okay, this is where I'm going to start telling the lie. When one of the things that helped her get on was that everyone knew she wasn't scared to fight somebody. Like we knew that. We like before all this cute like with Offset and Super all that, we knew she was gang related.
Right.
So we know like, she has no problem giving people the hands. So it would be a very weird time for Cardi to all of a sudden just like try and give Nicki the hands and then lie and tell this story. So that's why I have no reason to not believe Cardi. All I'm saying is, like, whatever the reason is, it don't matter. We just looking at Nicki like, can you just go chill? Can you chill? Like, even if you wrong, so what? It's just a lot of heat on you right now. Go chill.
And if you're trying to do this for promotion, you sell it yourself. Like the whole sex thing, that's not really working out anymore, just because this is the time that we in right now. And if you're trying to promote, it's different ways to promote. I mean, the girl that's talked about your music earlier, she didn't mean anything in a derogatory way. She's just like, we would like to see an older Nicki Minaj. Absolutely, because the girl can rap, she has talent. Like, can we just see something different? No, bitch, you broke and all this. Wait a minute, but wasn't you just talking about women empowerment?
Yeah.
So it's
But
like, where's the line at? And why keep crossing the line when you don't need to? You said you want to punch a grown man in the face. I mean, you got some weight on them because of that ass, but at the same time, you can't just go up to a grown man
yeah, Travis
and
Scott light as hell.
just and he right and just fling on them. Well, it's that,
Yeah,
and
like
because his woman has got better lawyers than you. I'm pretty sure when you worth that much money, even your last name, you're gonna have way better lawyers than a Nicki Minaj lawyer.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, they can afford the same lawyers, but at that point, it just depends on who likes you more.
Right. And I
Uh,
mean, I don't know how many white fans she got right now or ever did, but right now it's looking like you causing yourself not to have any fans.
there's that. Um, but yeah, man, you know what this remind, and you know what makes this all worse? You know what makes all of this hilarious? That oh, and I didn't even get to this. Let's talk about Faith and Mary J. Blige. All I'm gonna say is, I think this fight started because Mary J. Blige tried to insinuate that she's a better singer than Faith Evans, and Mary J. Blige is a good singer. She has improved dramatically, but let's not forget in the '90s she was like not great.
You know what? She was doing the best way I could put it. She was kind of doing was what? How do I phrase this? What the rappers or the so-called rappers are doing now? That's what she was kind of doing
Yeah,
in a
she was
way,
like,
where it's like, let me harmonize,
yeah, she was
because it
like,
was kind of rap. This shit would sound like rap. Like all I need to get by was rap.
let's be real. She was kind of Lady Keith Sweat at the time. Now she made better music than Keith Sweat, and that's not a diss towards Keith Sweat.
Uh,
But
you say it's not a diss, and I know you saying it's not a diss. If I would have said it, trust me, it would have been a diss.
but the thing I'm saying is, all I'm saying is the thing that got Mary over with people was that you could really feel her in the music. Like the
Right.
vocal quality, like it wasn't all that. Like she is immensely better singer now than where she started.
Right.
Like there was ability there when she started, but now it's like it's refined, it's good. You could tell it's like, oh, okay, yeah, she's worked on this and it shows and it's, great. But that's all I'm saying is that Mary J. Blige probably tried to insinuate, yo, I'm a better singer than you. Faith was like, bitch, hold on now. You sold more records. Let's let's leave it there. Let's leave it there.
I can talk about this segment the whole podcast because I want to think the levels to it. Like, what if I was supposed to get a whole duet album with Biggie, that you had to get one after he died and the fight started? It's so many different ways we could take it. The fact
Yeah,
that they had it in Diddy's house, both of them been knowing Diddy forever. Well, once again, Mary, because she had a longer career, she been knowing Diddy for the longest. All right, probably more than anybody in the industry today.
yeah.
Let's be clear, longer than I don't know who his other affiliate. I don't think he was. I'm trying to think
Jodeci.
who else. L.A. Reid, and all them. But as far as like kicking it with him, yeah, right. Because Jodeci can't kick it with him. Why? Yeah, can't call Diddy no more. You got to go through 5 people.
Yeah,
Shit. Slim probably can't even call Diddy at this point. He got to go through 3 people.
yeah.
Mary J.
Like,
Blige got the direct number.
yeah, like hit my agent, nigga.
like Mary J could pull up at the house in Hamptons. Like she stayed in Jersey, so she could pull up there. All right, like
Yeah.
she got that
And
pass. She probably got a key there. That's a different friendship. Faith probably so as well, but this I've been knowing. They've been knowing Mary J forever, being Diddy. So it probably could be that. The fact that they had it at his house lets me know everything I need to know because he's not going to stop being friends with them. He probably knew longer than anybody this shit was going to go on. As smart as Diddy is, why you didn't have a 24/7 leading up to this fight and book it at your house?
for real.
We needed this. I mean, the pay-per-view footage, maybe it was just so bloody of a fight because for them two grown women from the East Coast and they grew up in the 80s. They already know what Mary J was going through now.
And we know.
Stay Ready All-Star, he is the Stay Ready All-Star. More than probably she up there with Remy Ma as the Stay Ready All-Star. Remy Ma knows so much right now because she got the TV show, family and everything. She's still on 5 years probation.
Yeah.
Mary J has been the Stay Ready All-Star because she got hit multiple times as a kid. Then when she became famous and rich, she still had to deal with a drug addict that was beating the shit out of her, even though he was beating the shit out of other grown men too, except for Suge.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the thing with Faith is if Faith taking round trip flights just to go beat up a bitch, that means she take on the fight there. She planning out what she gonna say, what she gonna do. She like in that mode already. That's her walk to the ring. And then she take the flight back to calm down.
Did you think in the background her entrance music was "Could This Be Love"? What was the background song for Faith?
It was
He gets no love from me.
And it was just a Fat Man School version. Put your hands up.
I never knew
You
it.
got a $20 bill, make quiet. Single ladies, I can't hear. Like, that's all.
Love like this before this pops up in the background, or just this fat man bass drop. Then she comes out.
Yeah, Diddy was the ring girl for every round. He's just out there, just out there dancing.
No, he was Michael Buffer in the beginning. He was Michael Buffer with the announcements, and you know that shit was 10 minutes by itself. Then we got to go through the national anthem.
I thought the Michael Buffer would have been Montana. Let's get it.
You know what? Montana probably would have been scared to see that fight. He from the Bronx.
Nah, I think Montana would have been chill. That would have been familiar for him. It just would have been like, oh, it's too long fighting.
And I know what you mean, but you gotta understand, like, they R&B singers. They're big with us because we grew up listening to them. But Mary J is known. Like, Faith known, but Mary J known.
Yeah.
Am I correct? It's like she known. Like, it's white people that go to her concerts too. Like, oh, white motherfuckers go to her concert.
Yeah.
Like, she's known.
I in work, one of the places I went for work, it was a older white lady. She was playing Mary J. And that told me all I needed to know about that white lady, which is don't try her. Because she has been through some shit.
No, she got that cut. You know that haircut that women that mess with black men got. That one, I don't know how to say. It's the Mary. There you go. It's the fucking Mary J from '99 cut.
Yeah. Yeah.
She got that one. It's the holleration cut.
Yeah. And that's that. I could tell she wasn't playing like "Be Without You" and all that. Nah, she was playing "I Can Love You," the one with Lil' Kim, and all that told me is she keep razor blades in her office.
Bruh, Under the Tongue. That song, like, as soon as you said it, I heard that song instantly, and it played back to when I was a kid, and my mom played it.
All I know is that lady got Vaseline and razor blades in that office on deck.
Faith had probably Vaseline as well, but I think Mary J. came. She said, I don't need shit.
If it get really bad, that bitch had a knife. Like, it's weapons in this office.
A straight blade, the one that you gotta flip out.
You know how intimidating that would be to get a job interview with a white lady playing old Mary J. Blige?
I'm leaving.
You gotta watch your mouth in there, man.
I'm leaving because I know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be cool. We can have a conversation, but somehow she gonna slip in like I'm certified. I don't need you to let me know that you're certified. The music tells me everything.
Yeah, like you don't need to flash these gang signs, whatever. But to top all this, all this fighting goes on. Unfortunately, Mac Miller passes away. I ain't even gonna mention. Well, let's mention the fact that this is a quick one. George Zimmerman threatened Beyonce, and all I'm gonna say is this nigga must really want to die.
The
That's
address is
it.
put out.
Yeah,
His address was put out and it had retweets. My problem is that everybody that retweeted, why y'all didn't go see him? If it's 1,000 y'all retweeting, if y'all in the same county as him in Florida, God bless your life because you're in Florida. And I think another hurricane about to hit too as well. Well, it's not a joking matter, but goddamn, life is getting real.
yeah. So
You
that's all I'm gonna say about that one. But all this insanity happens,
No,
and
we
then
can't go past that. Let me get this out real quick about that. He dissed her. The address came out. Who leaked the address?
yeah, for real, I feel like
Oh,
it was a family member, like
yeah, they probably
someone.
was too beehive. Like,
Nah, someone who know that they related to him and they work with black people, and they was just like, you know what?
fuck it.
Here,
If he
hold this.
dies,
Don't
he
tell
dies.
nobody.
This is my first cousin, but fuck it. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, like just don't tell nobody you got this from me. You know what I mean? You
I'm just
got it, but you didn't.
upset. Even 20 people that was in that county, if they retweet that, why y'all didn't go see this man? It's 20 against him, bro.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
go back to your point because it's the
I mean,
Beyonce thing. He fucked up by saying that.
we saw how like fervor the hive got when someone just bit her. Like, where Tiffany
Right.
Haddish at? Tiffany Haddish should go see George Zimmerman. This is what we need. We need Tiffany
She
Haddish.
probably leaked the address.
She might have. It might have been Tiffany Haddish because Tiffany Haddish was like Tiffany Haddish probably heard this and text Beyonce like, "You want me to go kill this nigga right now?" And Beyonce was like, "Bitch, you got a movie coming out." It's like, I don't care, bitch. That's promotion.
Several. For all y'all listeners out there, we from South Central. Y'all think South Central women just cute and they talk loud. All right. Catch one at the wrong time. Catch one at the wrong time. They pretty laid back, but catch one at the wrong time.
It could be a Nicki Cardi situation real quick. It could be a Faith Mary J situation real quick for you.
Right. They're gonna give you a 10-minute soliloquy. Like LA people, some of us are really good at talking for 10 minutes before they give you the work. It's kind of like how people say Jamaicans talk and then they hit your ass out the blue.
Yeah.
Soliloquy hit you and still be talking 20 minutes to 3 hours later after that.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. But anyways, after all this insanity, the very next night, Drake and Meek Mill officially make up. And
damn, I'm glad I forgot all about that. That listen, and all this chaos happened with God bless him, Mac Miller on Friday. The Nicki and Cardi thing happened when? Like the same day. That was the same day. That's crazy. I was at work when all this shit happened. I had to get to my phone at 11 o'clock at night, and I just had, you saw my text messages. I just had the big eyes just looking at it. Yeah. And then Saturday night came, and we still were mourning Mac Miller. And hey, God's plan. Well, I don't know what you call it. Like that's one of those things where I sent you, and then it'll go to the next topic where I said, bro, 2018 is just wild. Because that caught me when it wasn't rumors that they was cool, even though we've heard Drake. I got, what did he say on the first song from Scorpion? I'm not going to fuck it up, so I won't repeat it.
He's like, I had real
problems with real Philly niggas. Yeah. So that was kind of a hint, but we thought it was going to be more than that. And then, I mean, on Family Feud, Drake was talking about it when in December or January, whenever that song came out. Time going by fast. When Meek was locked up. And then this nigga Meek just came out from the bottom of the stage like fucking Undertaker with some Timberlands on and just started. I like the fact that he knows, like, just play intro. Let me just play the intro to Dreams and Nightmares and everything gonna be straight.
Yeah, which, like, look, man, if Dreams and Nightmares ain't in the top 10 for best songs of the decade, I don't know what to do with your list. Because there is nothing that is like stayed with people the way that song has.
That and March Madness are our new Negro spirituals. This
Yeah,
decade alone, those two, that's
yeah,
definitely in the top two. I got to put both of them in the top two because it's just like when that shit comes on. I've been at parties, you've seen it. Like when intro comes on or Dreams and Nightmares, no matter where you at in the
yeah,
country, motherfuckers. As soon as that beat drop, you already know.
yeah. Like you know how dope that song is. I guarantee you, every rapper that's out wishes they made that song.
They wouldn't be
Like,
loud enough.
yeah. And that's the cold part. I was talking to this white dude I used to work with. He never listened to Meek Mill. I put him on to Meek. He was like, "Yo, Meek is kind of dope." And I was like, he's like, he really likes the more up tempo songs. And I was like, yeah. The great thing about Meek is no matter how big and bombastic and like grand the beat gets, Meek just rises to the occasion and meets it, and it becomes even
Right.
better.
He doesn't even
It's
get
like a
louder. He get a tone louder. He start off like real soft, but it's loud, and then he just
yeah. It's like he hit a new power level or something. Like,
he goes Ultra Instinct. He definitely went Ultra Instinct on the intro.
yeah. It was just like he was just chilling at Super Saiyan 3, and then all of a sudden he just jumps.
That's one of the songs. If you in the studio with him, you like that. You don't even need to tell him that ain't the one. Let's get this mixed and mastered right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. But
Like the rest of the album, we know you're gonna do good with the rest of the album, but this shit right here.
yeah, Nick, this the one. It's start like where should I put it? Start with that. Start. Don't
Start,
finish with it.
don't every,
Start with that.
and then if
Like,
you want, you can make a 0.5 or a 2.0 of this on the next couple projects because he kind of did that with his last project, the EP. That was dope. That had Stay Woke on it. He did that kind of with the Swiss Beats joint, but I mean, it ain't the intro, but it's still good. You got to start
it's
out your
still
album
good.
with that energy.
Like, um,
So
but
with that, bro, like we heard hints, and this made me. This is what I want to talk about with the whole Drake and Meek Mill thing. Is Drake? I wouldn't say a Stay Ready All Star, but is he on the list? Here's why I say that. It's all these people he's had problems with. He meets up with them. The Meek Mill thing. I mean, of course, prior to that, probably months leading into that, they met up and talked. But the Common, other people he's had problems with, he actually pulls up on them by himself for the most part. All these people he's rumored to have problems with, except for Kanye, but we'll talk about that later. He usually pulls up on them. He showed with the Jay-Z thing. Everybody, whether it was the press or people in general trying to make this fake beef, he showed up at the tour. He went to the On the Run tour. It's like, hey, what's up, ho? So I don't know if I can call him a Stay Ready All-Star. I don't know what list you put him on, but I'm starting to look at him like this dude
well,
might have been
no,
hoaxing us the whole time.
I can't say he's Stay Ready All Star because remember that time Diddy punched him and like broke his collarbone or whatever.
Allegedly. But how do you? But if Diddy's still on you, yeah, you could punch back. I don't know if he's gonna get good results
There's that, but
because
I
I
don't know if
don't.
Drake.
He gonna fight you. He gonna fight you. But I
I don't think
mean,
Drake is a Stay Ready All Star. I think Drake is just like in the sense of like he's trying to fight. I think he's willing to discuss anything. Like I don't think anything's off the table with him. Like if it's
right?
like we got to talk about it, we'll just talk about it. Um, but Drake is too
And
big
that's
for.
why I kind of like, not to cut you off. Want to? I don't know what list you put him on. Maybe I just should not put him on a list. But all these people he's supposed to have problems with, but yet he talks it out with them. And this is the same guy. People like he's soft and all this, and then you hear his voice and he be like, "Oh, he's a nice guy." All these people he had problems with, he get cool with them. And then if he don't have a problem with you, he letting you know, just like he letting Kanye know, which we will discuss later.
Uh, well, the great thing about Drake is, and I think the thing he notices for the most part is the same as most with most rappers. Once you calm down, you realize the things we're mad about are really silly.
Right.
Like it was really silly. Like this is not 50 Ja Rule. This is not Biggie Tupac. This is not Pimp Scarface Little Troy. This ain't that. Like,
Nah, and the thing is, I like about him, like if that I'm starting, he's making me a fan. Like I've always liked the music. He's making me a fan of him because the dude is like, okay, if you say something about me, I'm gonna go back.
yeah,
And you
yeah,
wouldn't think once again, a dude that sounds like that is gonna do it. He like, nah, I think I can get at you.
yeah. Like, um, he'll take a shot at you. Now, that's all I really got on that because I just thought that was good to see because there's a lot of turmoil and stuff like that, and everybody be talking about like, oh, we'll put our problems aside, oh, we'll chill out, this and that. People don't, particularly like you got an era of like really really young rappers who think it's cool to like
Fourth. The hell?